Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps, it really does. Hello, Fu lovers, it's good you're here. Long Fei was born on January 22, 1943, in Taiwan. He is best known for Blood of the Dragon, 1971, and One Arm Boxer, 1972, both starring Jimmy Wang Yi. He appeared mainly in kung fu films. He loved portraying over-the-top villains. He is perhaps also one of the most underrated villains of the martial arts movie genre. Long Fei started his acting in movies at the age of 26. His first appearance was as a thug in the 1969 movie The Mysterious Knight. He would then go on for the next few years typecast as that type of character. He often featured in films for the major movie studios, Golden Harvest and Shaw Brothers, and possibly all the independent filmmakers in Taiwan, Hong Kong, Thailand, and wherever else kung fu movies were being made. The early 70s would find Long very busy. For example, in 1971, he featured in 17 movies, 1972, 17 movies, 1973, 19 movies. With the exception of 2 years, he would average between 15 and 17 movies per year throughout the 70s and the early 80s. Long was very good friends with Jimmy Wang. He would often play the villain in many of Wang Yu's movies. He first appeared with Wang Yu in the movie The Brave and the Evil in 1971. They would go on to work together in over 30 movies, with 11 of those in 1972 alone. There was a chemistry between the two that never seemed to fade over the years. They would go at each other in films like Beach of the War Gods and The Screaming Tiger, both in 1973, Master of the Flying Guillotine, 1975, and Tiger and Crane Fist, 1977. Other actors with whom he would frequently collaborate with were Wang Tao, Chang Yi, Chan Sing, and Ho Dong-chan. The movie Tiger and Crane Fist was later parodied in Steve Odenkirk's kung fu movie Kung Pao Enter the Fist in 2002, in which Long's character would feature prominently, with his name hilariously changed to Betty. Long was given a few opportunities to be a lead actor, most notably in the movie Desperate Avenger in 1973 and The Rickshaw Puller in 1974. Although Long was not an exceptionally skilled fighter, he had a screen presence that was quite capable of holding his own with the best of them, and he did work with the best of martial arts cinema. His lack of athleticism was compensated by the intensity in his movements when fighting. He was not on the same level like some of the main bad guys of the 70s, like Huang Zhangyi, Lo Lei, or Chang Yi, and that is quite apparent. Most of his choreography were relatively simple and wisely highlighted his strengths. Some of Long's other notable roles would include appearances in Imperial Sword 1977 with Judy Lee, Shaolin Traitor 1977 with the legendary Carter Wong and Paulie Shampoo, Dual Flying Kicks 1978 with martial arts super kicker Tan Tao Liang. Some of the movies in which he stood out as the main villain were Revenge of the Shaolin Masters and Snake in the Eagle's Shadow Part 2, both in 1978, and Adventure for Imperial Treasure in 1979 starring Don Martha. He would also do the fight choreography on 9 movies and some other behind-the-scenes work. With the decline of the martial arts genre during the mid-1980s, Long Fei retired from acting after 20 years and 176 films and countless television appearances. He has since only made minor cameos in film and television. With his place in kung fu movie cinema safe and secure, to Long Fei we say, thanks for the memories. Kim Yong-il, more famously known as Eagle Han Ying, was a Korean actor and martial artist who became famous in Korea in the 90s for starring in some hit television series. Outside of Korea, he is best known for starring in many kung fu films from Hong Kong and Taiwan. As a young boy, Han was sent to live at an orphanage. He would later get adopted by Kim Cheong-do, who was a Chinese translator and action director for movies. Han Ying was then exposed to physical education, martial arts in particular, at an early age. He would train in the praying mantis style and Taekwondo, in which he earned himself a black belt. Although he would not appear in any of Shaw's production, he would be encouraged by his adopted father to enroll at Shaw Brothers Studio as an actor trainee for a period of 6 years. This would give him more credibility with his film career in Korea as well as other countries like Hong Kong and Taiwan. He had planned to join the Korean army, but due to his father's persuasion, he decided to focus on becoming an actor. He later attended Chong'an University, where he studied in the field of theater and acting. Han's first film appearance was in the 1977 Korean-Taiwan co-production movie Endless Fight. He would then appear in a series of forgettable Korean martial arts films, along with the Bruceploitation films Return of the Red Tiger and Return of the Fist of Fury. He was also a frequent collaborator with another Taekwondo martial arts actor, Casanova Wong. Together they starred in films like The Wonder Man from Shaolin, 1977, South Shaolin vs. North Shaolin, 1982, and Wong's directorial debut, Fire Lord, 1981. In 1979, Han would collaborate twice with the soon-to-be famous action star Jackie Chan. Both movies would be done for director Lo Wei in a co-production with Korea and Taiwan. Those films were Dragon Fist and Fearless Hyena. Han Ying's talent soon got discovered by Taiwanese directors such as William Chen Ki, who gave him a role as the main villain, Toku Lam, in the classic kung fu movie Dead Duel of Kung Fu, co-starring John Liu and Wang Tao. He also worked with several of Shaw Brothers' famous leading actors, such as Gordon Liu and Lu Chai Lian in the movie Shaolin Drunken Monk. In 1984, he again played the main villain in the kung fu film Ninja vs. Shaolin Guards, co-starring Alexander Lo. Due to his success in Hong Kong movies, Han Ying would become quite popular in his home country of South Korea. He continued starring in martial arts movies, and after the success of Jackie Chan's comedic kung fu films, Han Ying would frequently collaborate with Korean director Kim Jeong-yeon and fellow Korean martial arts actor Elton Chong. Together they worked on at least 6 pictures. One of them was the movie Shaolin Drunken Monkey in 1981, which turned out to be a huge success in South Korea and gained cult status among Korean fans. After that film, they worked together on 10 Shaolin Disciples, The Snake Strikes Back, Fist of the Golden Monkey, Dragon Against Vampire, and Ninja of the Magnificent, which was released in 1987. After starring in over 20 movies in the 1980s, Han would initially retire from acting in 1987. However, in 1992, he would make a brief comeback in the Korean movie Walking Towards the Sky. In 1997, he made an appearance in the television series Love and War. Around the time he starred in Walking Towards the Sky, Han had become a monk. After his retirement, he would become more devoted in his practice of Buddhism. Sadly, in 2002, Han Ying was diagnosed with stomach cancer and passed away on August 12, 2003. But before doing so, he had secured his place in the annals of Kung Fu cinema. To Eagle Han Ying we say, rest in peace and thanks for the memories. Here. Fung Ha-kun was born on the 12th of September 1948 in Guangdong Province, China. He was an actor, director, and choreographer, known for his many memorable performances in kung fu movies in the 70s and early 80s, mainly as a villain. His most notable role was as Banker Mo in the eternal classic Warriors 2. Fung was trained at the Peking Opera Academy of Madame Fan Foc Fa. His classmates included future kung fu stars like Li Huisang, Lam Ching-ying, Meng Hui, and Mars. Fung is the son of famed character actor-director Fung Fung. He made his first appearance at the age of 7 in the movie 7 Bodies, 8 Deaths, and 9 Human Heads in 1955, which was directed by his father, Fung Fung. As a teenager, Fung became a stuntman for Shaw Brothers Studio. He featured prominently in director Chang Cheh's early movies as both a stuntman and an extra. As the years progressed, Fung became more noticeable as he was given more visible roles in Chang's movies like Vengeance, 1970, and Boxer from Shantung, 1972. By this time, Fung had begun to explore his choreographing skills. He would do double duty on the independently made film The Prodigal Boxer, starring the great Mang Fei. Fung would help choreograph the fights and starred as one of the friends of Mang's character, Fang Shiyu. In 1973, although he is not credited, it is common knowledge that he assisted Jackie Chan with the fight choreography in John Woo's directorial debut, The Young Dragons. In the following years, 1974 to 1976, Fung would feature in 29 movies. A few of those would be for other movie studios like Golden Harvest and other independent producers, but the majority would be for Shaw Studio. Fung would go on to have some very memorable on-screen moments with the late Alexander Fuchsin, although the two would have first worked together on the 1973 movies, The Generation Gap and Police Force. Their real confrontation would begin in 1974 with the movies Heroes 2 and Men from the Monastery, and continue on in the movies Shaolin Martial Arts and Five Shaolin Masters. But what is probably their most memorable on-screen moments would be from the classic movie Disciples of Shaolin, in which Fung and one of his frequent partner in crime, Chiang Tao, really went overboard with their ruthlessness. In 1977, Fung would begin to reap the fruits of his labor. Although he would still feature in some Shaw productions, his real break would come from a Golden Harvest movie. Sammo Hung, having previously worked with Fung on the movie Shaolin Plot, would cast him as one of the main villains in his directorial debut, the classic movie The Iron-Fisted Monk. The following year, 1978, Fung would again show up as one of the main baddies along with another of his frequent partner in crime, Lee Hoi-san, in the movie Descendant of Wing Chun. That year, Fung would feature in 16 movies, sometimes in cameo like Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, or slightly bigger roles like in Enter the Fat Dragon. However, the movie that would forever change Fung's life and the landscape of Kung Fu cinema would be the eternal classic Warriors 2. His performance as the scheming duplicitous Banker Mo is beyond legendary. His Mantis style in that movie is unsurpassed. In 1979, Fung would star in 6 movies, but he would especially stand out in 3 of them. Last Hurrah for Chivalry, in which he played the insistent killer named Prey, the Magnificent Butcher as the overly amorous Ko Tai Hoi, and Snake Deadly Act as the main villain, the deceptive Yu Yi. The early 80s would see Fung continue his run of form. However, his main focus would be on his choreography. In 1980, he would handle fight duties along with Jackie in Chan's Golden Harvest directorial debut, The Young Master. Then again in 1982 in another Jackie Chan directed movie, Dragon Lord, for which he was nominated for Best Action Choreographer at the 2nd Hong Kong Film Awards in 1983. Throughout the remainder of the 80s into the 90s and 2000s, Fung would appear mainly in small roles and cameos. His focus was on his choreography and other behind-the-scenes activities, which he would continue to do up till the year 2011. Fung would continue to show up in movies all the way up to and even after his death in 2016. In 2017, he appeared posthumously in the movie Soccer Killer. Having featured in 204 films, directed 4, and action-directed 37 movies, along with many more accolades, it is safe to say Fung Hak Oong's legacy in martial arts cinema is very much secured. So to Fung Hak Oong we say, thanks for the memories. Chan Chan was born in Incheon, South Korea on the 23rd of May 1956. His parents were originally from Shandong Province, China. Chan started his martial arts training with his older brother in the art of Taekwondo. When he was 9 years old, his brother took him to Master Bishu Yi, who helped him to further his skills and taught him Chinese martial arts like Baji Quan, Bagua Zan, Northern Praying Mantis, and Xing Yi Quan. As a young boy, Chan was quite a mischievous kid with a love for fighting, and so he found himself in many fights with other kids. He once said in an interview that he had a bad habit. He could not run from a fight. And since he was picked on a lot, they would call him Gaoli Bangzi, a demeaning slang which would lead to him having to defend his honor. At the age of 21, Chan went to Taiwan to enter a World Championship martial arts tournament. He defeated everyone and won first place. This was where he first caught the eyes of a scout from the movie company, Great China Film Company. Impressed by what they saw, Chan was offered a night picture deal over a 3-year period. With no acting experience or any aspirations to be a movie star, he was at first hesitant to take the offer. He said he questioned, why him? However, he would eventually sign the contract and was on his way to becoming a legend of martial arts cinema. Chan would go on to make 2 classic films with the company. He would make his debut in the movie of Cooks and Kung Fu as the menacing Take No Prisoners Bok Chin Chu, and follow that up with Kung Fu of 7 Steps as the shrewd, white-haired villain Chu Chin Kong, both in 1979. After the 3 years were up, he left the Great China Film Company, and his next film, Shaolin Temple Strikes Back in 1981 would be made for the great independent film producer Joseph Koop through Calm Production Studios. After featuring in 3 other movies that year, Chang would take a 1-year hiatus from making movies and would return in the year 1983 with what is considered by many fans of the genre as one of the greatest independently made kung fu movies of all time, Shaolin vs. Lama, also starring Alexander Lowe and directed by the great Lee Sonan. Chang's portrayal of the Golden Wheel Lama, Yao Fen Ling, is so iconic it has been referenced in many songs, and other characters have taken inspiration from him. Unfortunately, after this movie, although he would go on to feature in many more films, it would mainly be in supporting roles, the exception being Wild Panther 1984, in which he starred alongside Don Wang-Tao. The Kung Fu era was coming to an end, and Chang was understandably displeased with the roles he was being offered. So after the movies Kickboxer in 1993 and The Chinese Ghostbuster in 1994, Chang would retire from making movies. With a passion for martial arts still in his system, Chang would open a martial arts school in Korea, where he lived at the time. But the school would soon close its doors after only 6 months. He admits that he did not have the brain for business, and that his training methods were very strict, so much so that all 80 of his students left. Approximately 10 of them left after being beaten in challenge matches, where they challenged him for seniority over who should be head of the school. He also opened a restaurant, but that venture did not last very long. Chang would eventually settle in Taiwan with his wife and their children. He still lives there and is now a proud grandfather. He is very active on social media, where he makes it a point to interact with his legion of fans. He is very down to earth and obviously cherishes the support of his many fans. With his legacy in the annals of Kung Fu cinema very much secured, to Chang we say, thanks for the memories. If you have enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and feel free to leave a comment. Thank you, and may the food be with you.